Welcome to another Ward 3 Community Corner. This is an excellent opportunity for myself as the City Councillor in Ward 3 to talk to and get to know and celebrate some of the great things that I have the honor and privilege of hearing about and great people that I get to know, not only in Ward 3, but throughout the city. And today I'm here with Lorraine Crow, a resident in Ward 3, and I'm so excited to be talking with her today about Riverwood Conservancy and what your role is in the Conservancy and all that you have done. So welcome, thank you so much for being on the Community Corner. And so just to start, can you tell me a little bit about Riverwood and what it means, what Riverwood is and what it means to you?
Okay, thanks very much again, Chris, for this opportunity. Yes, and I'm a resident of Ward 3 and very happy in that ward, but I'm a happy Mississaugian. I've been a Mississaugian for over 50 years. The Riverwood Conservancy is a volunteer-based organization. We are a charity that sits on the Riverwood property, and our main focus is environmental education, stewardship, and gardening.
Yes, and it is an incredible. We're in the Chapel House.
Yes.
Here for this little interview here today, but what an incredible gem in our great city.
Yes.
It's just incredible. So can you tell me a little bit about what you do at the Conservancy?
Yes, I'm the Fund Development Officer, and my main focus is to bring awareness to the people of the city of Mississauga of this beautiful property, to raise money for all our programs where we deliver over 500 programs a year.
500,
yes.
500.
Mm-hmm.
So 500 programs. Can you give me a little bit of a background in about Riverwood and how you would get that word out in terms of all the different programs and some of the history in the, of Riverwood?
Yes, Riverwood actually is composed of 3 different properties. The Parker family actually built this house as a cottage, but the Chapel family occupied the house for 65 years. Both properties were farm, and the side properties were farm properties. The City of Mississauga and the Credit Valley Conservation own the property, and the Riverwood Conservancy sits on top of the property as the charity that looks after the property. Yes, and the 500 programs that we do, again, is natural education for children from JK to senior to grade 12, and we teach kids about nature. Basically, we do pond studies and things like that. We also have an enabling garden for people with disabilities, and we have a discovery program, which have a great astronomy program. We had over 800 people come out for the eclipse the other day. Yes. So it's a wonderful program, and we need money to raise money to keep this forest in the biodiversity state that it's in. We have over 185 species of migrant birds coming through here. And we just need people in Mississauga to come and enjoy it. The trails, walk their dog, bring their children, and keep this property in a beautiful state that it is.
It is it is a pretty incredible place, and I think understanding the history and the ties that it has to not only a family in Mississauga, but also the city of Mississauga. And
yes.
I know Riverwood has come to council and presented to help us as councillors spread the word. And make sure that we continue to respect the place, but also spread the word about others coming and enjoying and celebrating this, celebrating Riverwood, but also all the programs. What
yes.
is it? Just so many, such a diverse range of programs, all about nature and celebrating nature, and also science. And you mentioned the astronomy. There's another Ward 3 resident, actually, Randy Abbott,
yes, who comes here all the time,
who runs the astronomy program here. So
yes.
proud of that. And yes, the eclipse. You mentioned how many people came up to that, so that's wonderful. Another a very successful program among the many that you have here. So can you give a little bit of background about how you got how the organization got started and your role in that?
Yes, the organization got started, again, it's been started since 1985, and there's 2 individuals really that to champion the city to help purchase this property, Charlie Brown and Shirley Daniels, both educators. Shirley Daniels is also a master gardener, and they wanted to really make sure that the gardens were looked after here, and also that kids knew about the property, and that school boards would get involved with bringing children here and educate them. So that's kind of how the whole thing came about. Hazel McCallion at the time, and the councillors got behind us with the Credit Valley Conservation and created the Mississauga Garden Council. And the Mississauga Garden Council then became the Riverwood Conservancy. And that's basically how the property all started.
And when I was coming in here today, I noticed people that are volunteers that are out gardening today, even as we speak. So
yes, we have over 900 volunteers. And we also share the property with the Visual Arts Center, who do great programs for art for people of all ages. And so we're very happy to have them as a partner on the property.
And the education continues from a very young age all the way through, which I think is just so wonderful. Just a couple more things. Just what are some of the goals moving into the future? You mentioned education, awareness, programming. There may be programming goals, but also donations. So what are some of the key goals? Yeah,
the donation part of it certainly is to keep the property in a healthy state, to keep the education programs for the next generations to come. Also, we are looking towards a visitor center. We'll be raising money for a visitor center to make it more accessible for people and to tell them about the Credit River. We are the central part of the Credit River, and again, as I said, we have more biodiversity here than any part on the Credit. So more animals, more birds, and it's wonderful to have this in the middle of the city, and it's very important to protect that. So that's where the donations are going.
What a gem in the middle of the city. I want to thank you, Lorraine, as a resident in Ward 3, for all that you do in the community, in the city, and all that you've contributed to Riverwood. And thank you also for working in partnership. I think it takes a great team with the Credit Valley Conservation, with the city of Mississauga, but most importantly for coming to the city and reminding us how very important it is that we recognize and celebrate and continue to educate our residents through Riverwood Conservancy. So, and I invite all residents to make sure they come out and enjoy Riverwood. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just as a close, our enabling garden is in a national competition.
Yes, it is.
Yes, which is very exciting.
Right. I voted for it.
We're up against a garden in New York and North Carolina.
Thank you for reminding me.
And if we get this, we're the only Canadian garden that is nominated. And if we get this national award, it's certainly a tribute to the city of Mississauga for their support and CVC. And to be recognized throughout Canada.
And where can people vote?
People can vote. They can go onto our website at www.theriverwoodconservancy.org. And also you have it on your website as well, so you can click in and vote. The voting ends the end of October, so please vote and keep us in that national stage.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Chris.